I've been with a man, my husband, for 10 years, and this is what it looks like when someone loves you and likes you. Number one, I have never been reduced to domesticated duties as if that's all a woman is good for, like cooking, cleaning, etc. We have always shared those duties. If I don't feel like cooking, it's not a big deal. He will order food for us or cook. He doesn't want to see me tired out doing anything I don't feel like doing. He loves me for me, not for what I can do for him. Number two, he actually finds ways to spend time with me, still 10 years later. He likes to be around me. We play video games together, go on trips together. We have date nights. He has a game room and will often sometimes ask me to join him because he wants me with him while we do our own things together. Number three, he always speaks highly of me to other people when I'm not around. I would meet some of his colleagues and associates for the first time and they would already know about me. Number four, if it's important to me, it's important to him, even if he doesn't quite understand it. Number five, he remembers details about me and remembers things I tell him I like or want. The nice, thoughtful gestures he does for me always have me and who I am in mind. Number six, in arguments, he doesn't hit below the belt. He doesn't bad talk me or say mean things about me, no matter how heated our disagreements may get. Number seven, he is so supportive of my dreams, goals, and passions. And my passions have changed throughout the years we've been together. He has supported them all. He has even supplied me with things I need for my hobbies and passions. His motto is, if it makes me happy, then it makes him happy. So that is something I wrote. If you're wondering where I'm reading from, it's just from my Threads account or my I've Been That Girl 2 Instagram page. I'm reading straight from that. So I wrote that because I had a video go viral on here talking about what it looks like when a man loves you but doesn't like you. So I wanted to do the flip side so you know what it feels like to be loved and genuinely liked for who you are. And I hope that helps. And I also hope that this love finds you because you deserve it. I was in a relationship with a man for 4 years that loved me but didn't like me. And here's what that type of relationship looks like. Number one, he will always find something to complain about regarding you. It could be about your clothing, how you style your hair, how you do your makeup, or the color you wear on your nails. And he doesn't have to complain with disgust in his tone every time. Sometimes it would be masked as coming from a place of love. Number two, whenever I asked him what he loved about me, he always started with my looks. That seemed to be the only thing he liked and loved about me. He would also mention things I did for him and seemed to praise me the most when I catered to him in some form. Never any compliments about who I was as a person. He literally only loved the way I looked and loved how I loved him. Number three, he wasn't supportive of my dreams and goals. He wasn't supportive of anything that was for my benefit only. I feel like he was threatened by that. Once I signed up to do volunteer work at this shelter for the youth, and he asked me, why do you want to do that? Number four, he would do nice things for me, but then demand when I was going to return the favor. When I was with him, my money was tied up in making my car payments, and I wasn't making much, so I didn't have much to spend on us. So he would pay for dates. He knew my money situation, but would still demand I pay for something. I would even ask that we just not go out, but he refused and just told me to pitch in more. Number five, he would get me gifts and do nice things for me sometimes, so I thought that meant he liked me. I would let those times cancel out the bad times. When a man truly loves you and likes you, his love and admiration will be evident daily and not just when it's time to give gifts for birthdays and holidays. It will be seen in the daily things that he does that considers you and your happiness and well-being. Only being nice to you on special occasions is for a show and his personal benefit. So I was young when I was dating him. This dynamic felt similar to the one in my household growing up, so he felt like home. I thought since he wanted to commit to me, gave me attention, and told me he loves me, that was enough. I wasn't the most confident, so I fell into the trap of believing I wasn't good enough and needed to make the changes he would suggest. I was confused by the love mixed in with the hate he had for me. And I was under the impression that I just needed to try harder to make the relationship work. But the relationship work is not solely on one person. It is a team effort. It's two people working together. And what's crazy is each time I tried to leave him, he would beg for me not to. He would even cry. That confused me too, because I'm like, he's always complaining about something I'm not doing right, yet each time I attempt to walk away, he begs for me to stay. Make it make sense. So I wrote about this story in Toxic Ex Chronicles John. If you know, you know. This book that has done very well. A lot of people really enjoyed it. It is an entertaining read because I go through a lot of shit in here, but it's based on a true story, and it just lets you know how toxic relationships are. And if you are wondering if yours is toxic, that's a good book to read to let you know if you're in a toxic relationship. And what I've written is also on my Instagram page. I've been that girl too, and it's on my Threads accounts as well. I wrote that because I hear all the time that, you know, that man doesn't like you, he doesn't like you, and I know a lot of women are trying to figure out, like, what does that mean that a man can love you but not like you? And so I wrote that so you know what it looks like when a man says he loves you but doesn't act like he likes you. And I hope that helps. And also pick up my book. I'll appreciate it so much. Link in bio. So I read this quote on my Threads account that I want to share with you and then share my thoughts on it. It says, "Don't allow people that never ask questions try to convince you they love you. Love demands curiosity." And to which I responded this: if a man tells you about you, meaning excessively complimenting you, or tells you what he thinks you want to hear, he doesn't have good intentions and doesn't really care to get to know you. He's not looking for a real commitment. He's trying to get you to fall with no intentions on catching you. And I just have to say that it is so true that if in the beginning you're getting to know someone, they're not asking about you. You know, if that man is not asking any questions about you or trying to get to know you on a deeper level than just, you know, the surface, he's not interested. He's not interested in having anything more with you. He doesn't have good intentions. It's just a no. And so I think sometimes we fall head first for the guy that is complimenting us, especially if he is super like attractive and all the things that we want on paper. But is he really getting to know us? You should know already that you are attractive. You should know already that you that girl. You should know already that you got it going on. You should know already all these things about you. You should know already that you are a prize and that any man would love to have you. You should know that you are that girl. You should not get that excited over any man. I don't care who he is. So you should not be surprised or act all gushy over a man telling you all these things that you want to hear or that he thinks you wants to hear. Those things are nice, but he should definitely be on the wavelength of like getting to know you. You know, he should be asking about you. He should seem more interested in you than what's on the surface, for sure. Okay. So I get asked a lot, how did I know that my husband was someone safe to continue seeing in the beginning? And I'm going to give some insights for you to follow to know how that man you're seeing is someone that you want to continue to see. And if he's really and truly a good man and someone safe. So one thing I want to preface with saying is that I feel like in general, you'll know a man is safe by him making you feel better about the things that once used to make you feel anxious. The first thing I would say that made me feel like he was safe was how he respected my boundaries. And that's something that used to make me feel anxious before. Meaning I used to feel anxious about setting the boundary and stating what I needed and being assertive about the boundary because I was afraid of scaring a man off. I was afraid of being met with, you know, having my boundaries undermined. I was afraid of those things happening. But I learned in order for me to realize if someone is right for me or not, I have to do the thing even if I'm scared to do it. And so an example here is that in the beginning, it was like our third date. He was like, hey, I can meet you at your house and then we can go to the party together. Now, keep in mind, this is just the beginning and the third date. I wasn't really comfortable with a man coming to my house that soon unless I felt like that I was ready to have sex with him. And so I wasn't quite there yet. So I decided that I'm going to text and tell him, no, that's okay. I'll meet you at the party. Even though I was a little nervous to do it. Because in my head, I'm thinking, oh, he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys just after sex. He's trying it. I knew it. I should have known. You know, that's what I was telling myself. I was scared that it was going to turn into that. So I was already preparing myself for the downfall of us not even talking anymore after that. Because I'm like, let me just go and tell him, no, I don't feel comfortable with that. I'd rather just meet you at the party. And so I texted and told him this. And he was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'll see you there. That's it. And so the way you know that he's safe is that if you are able to assert a boundary in the beginning when talking to them, and they don't treat you any differently, and that their interest in you doesn't actually dissipate, and that they're still just as interested in you and wanting to get to know you, that means that they're safe. And it also means that they're emotionally mature as well. So that's one way. Another way he made me feel safe is that he was the type to do what he said he was going to do, no matter how small it was. He never made me second guess anything. He never made me second guess what he was telling me. All of his actions aligned with his words. And that made me feel safe with someone like that, because that's someone that was honest. That's someone that cared about how I felt about them. And I'm saying that because I feel like men that lead with integrity, men that are just going to do what they say they're going to do, and their actions align their words, they are that way, of course, first for themselves, but it's also taking in consideration of how they are making you feel. And this is a way to see early on if they're going to be considerate of you. And reason being is because consideration is directly correlated with how they care and love you. But of course, in the beginning, there's no love yet, but there should be consideration. And so I took that to mean that he is considerate of him keeping his word, because he knows that I'm listening to his word. And if he wants me to be led by him, he's going to make sure that he keeps his word and he's an honorable, honest man. And the last point I want to make that made me feel safe in his presence in the beginning when we were just dating, it may seem it's a little different than the others, but I'm going to say it and try to explain it the best that I can so it makes sense to you. I like that he was interested in getting to know me. And what I mean by that is that he wasn't in the business of doing a lot of excessive compliments. Excessive compliments became uncomfortable for me and became a red flag for me after, of course, my previous toxic relationships where I was love bombed in the beginning. But it became uncomfortable for me because it would make me anxious. And so I'm not saying that he should not compliment you at all. I'm saying that it can be on more than just how you look, or more than just being like the sexual innuendos. It's more than that. It's more so complimenting on like, oh, I like the way you think. Oh, I like that you love your job. Or, oh, compliments like that. Not just on you so fine. Ooh, look at you. And all of that. That's okay to a minimum. But it should not be the basis of how they talk and speak to you. And so before I healed, stuff like that used to make me very excited about a man. But I started to realize that wasn't really excitement. Maybe it was. But it was also a lot of anxiousness. And really, that would make me feel unsafe. It make me feel undone, make me feel ungrounded, because now I feel like I'm trying to do what I can do to make sure that you always look at me in that light. I'm knowing this. I didn't know this back then, but I'm realizing now what it was. I'm knowing that deep down there is more to me than what's on the surface. And I'm afraid that when you get to know me beneath the surface, you're not going to like who I am and you're going to change, which is what always end up happening. And so, yes, those excessive compliments in the beginning always turned me off and always made me feel uncomfortable and unsafe. I just never realized it back then. And so with my husband, he never did any of that. He made me feel safe because he seemed like he was thoroughly into getting to know me at the core. So that made me feel like that he is not going to run once he really gets to know me even deeper, because he's interested in already knowing who I am beneath the surface. So knowing that he is showing up like that means that he is going to be able to love me deeply and thoroughly, and that he is going to love me unconditionally. And so seeing him show up interested in all the things about me, my day-to-day things, who I am as a person, that made me feel ultimately safe to be all of who I am, to be my authentic self. So I hope those 3 things help. There may be some other things. If you got questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer them and make another video explaining if I have to. But those are the top 3 things that made me feel good about him in the beginning and wanted me to keep seeing him. I didn't do anything special to get a husband. And I'm not in the business of telling a woman how to get a husband or how to get a man. But let me tell you what I did do. Nothing. I found a man that wanted me and acted like it. Simple as that. Not a man that only wanted me sexually, but a man that showed through actions that he wanted to be my man. Believe it or not, I did less to get a husband In my previous relationships that were toxic, I did the most just to end up heartbroken in the end. I went above and beyond, and that's because I thought I had to, and these men had me anxiously attached because of their inconsistency. The thing you have to realize, ladies, is that that man will love you because he has the capability to do so and because he wants to. That's it. You can't provoke him to love you or coerce him into loving you or to act right. Nothing you can do at all. You can't love him into loving you or love him so hard that he sees your worth. What makes a man love you is because of the love he already has inside to do so. Stop doing so much and stop going above and beyond. It doesn't get you praise or more love or appreciation. It just gets you used. I also didn't keep men around as placeholders just to have someone to text every now and then when I was bored. I was actually alone until I found someone worthy of a date. I wanted a man to compete with my alone time, not with other men. That was important to me because I had become one with my solitude. I didn't need just any man coming along and fucking it up. He had to be right. I am special, and so are you. Just know that you and the essence of who you are is enough. What you do and how you are is special to someone else too. Believe and know that. If that man acts as if you're not special and doesn't treat you like you're special to him, then that's not your man. That's not time for you to prove yourself. I was my husband's dream girl just the way I am. Really that simple. I didn't go above and beyond. I didn't try to change myself. I didn't overextend myself trying to help him with anything. I didn't have to prove myself. I didn't have to love hard. I didn't have to reach out for dates. I did nothing but showed up being myself and sticking to my standards. That's it. So that is something written by me, and it's on my Instagram page, I've Been That Girl Too. I wrote that for my ladies that are, of course, wanting marriage and all of that. And that's a beautiful thing, but I want my ladies to understand that you don't have to be male-centered on your quest for looking for a husband, if you will. Meaning that you can actually center yourself and be your true self, authentic self, and your essence is enough for you to have the man that you want and be married. You don't have to do all this crazy stuff and go above and beyond and you don't have to do all of that for a husband. You don't have to be male-centered for a husband. You can literally center yourself and still get a husband. And then you actually will get better results if you center yourself in versus centering a man. Because I find that when you center men on your quest for looking for a husband, you end up getting a bunch of men that just want you for what you can do for them, and they will not respect you. I literally prayed for my husband, and I met him about a month after this prayer. God, I am tired of dating the same type of men and being disappointed in the same ways. I just want a man that is going to love me for real and treat me good. I want a man that's a free spirit like me, a man that gets me. I don't care that much about physical attributes, but I like to still be attracted to him. And can he at least have a beard? And yes, I did say that last part. Can he at least have a beard? Now, this may not be verbatim what I said, but it's basically what I said. And it's been about 10 years now, so I don't know exactly. But I remember just being fed up with dating. And I was like, I keep making the same mistakes, dating the same type of men, like, And so I prayed that prayer, and I think a month or so later, I was swiping on Tinder, came across his profile. And I didn't really know if I was going to like him or not. He wasn't bad looking. He just wasn't my typical type. But once again, I said that prayer. I'm looking for someone that's not my typical type. Someone that's just going to treat me good. Someone that I can at least be attracted to. I never thought he was ugly. He just was not my type that I usually go for. But I'm like, yeah, he's cute enough to get to know. So I got to know him. And I promise you, I did not know that he was going to be the one. I had no clue, no idea, wasn't expecting it from him at all. And the more I got to know him, the more I fell into really liking him, and then of course fell in love with him. And I'm like, okay, he is a really stand-up guy. He's a really good guy. He's really honest. He's really all the things that I've been wanting. All of the things and then some. And so I was going to pass him up just because he wasn't a certain height or didn't look a certain way or wasn't the certain type that I was used to. And so I wasn't expecting him to be the one. I wasn't even expecting to continue seeing him. And I really didn't know what to expect and just gave him space to pursue me. We fell slowly, and that's what I needed after a bunch of toxic relationships to men where they came on strong too fast, love bombing me. And so, yeah, that's how that went.